Hello, everyone. My name is Nikolai, and we're just going to go back to one slide. You'll see what I look like in real life. So for those of you who have not followed us yet on any social media channels, we're pretty active in all of them. We're trying to be as much as we can. So you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn. We also have a LinkedIn group where you can find more information about what's happening at RigER. Everything is posted. We try to share as much as possible. So feel free to share, to follow us and get the latest updates from us. And another great channel that we are promoting so that every one of you who are on the line today would be up to date on what's going on with RigER is our YouTube channel. So to subscribe to it, you need to go on our homepage, scroll all the way down, find the YouTube icon, and then click on it. After that, you will end up on this page, and all you need to do here is just click subscribe, and all the latest updates and videos will be showing up in your email automatically. So today we're going to be talking about the operations management software implementation. And we know that software implementation is no walk in the park. And many of you who are on the line today may have tried in a number of instances to make a change in your operations management, installing different types of software. Some of them are simpler, maybe easier. Some of them are too complex and maybe just too onerous. And we know that it takes time and effort. So today's presentation is going to be dedicated specifically on how we at RigER approach the implementation of the oilfield operations software and what we have learned so far working with scores of companies implementing the software successfully. And that's going to be the major focus, how to help you, all of your listeners, to make sure to install and have the implementation project completed to the fullest satisfaction of both parties, us as the provider and you as the receiver of the service. So today's agenda includes several topics, but first I wanted to introduce to you our main speakers today. So we will see and hear from Michael Maltsev, our CEO and the product head. We will also hear from the VP Operations, Gleb Kobets, who has been leading implementations for the past year and a half in RigER. We will also introduce our a relatively new person who's been working with us not so long, but has been shown a lot of success. It's Arsen Ortnan. So he's a software consultant who's now interacting with a lot of the new customers as well. So if you are one of the new clients, now you can see Arsen and you will hear from him directly on how our implementation projects are going to be going forward. So the agenda of today's presentation is we're going to talk about some of the common challenges, and you will recognize some of them or may also find out about the ones that you haven't heard before. We will discuss the implementation program of RigER on site. It is an extensive program that we run, but we've come up with it not just because we want it, but because it's tried and proved to work on many instances. We'll also discuss some of the client cases because we recognize that everyone is different in their own right, and we do respect that significantly. So we do adjust our program to make sure that we accommodate to the ongoing setup and the environment of your business. We'll cover the best practices and we will reveal the key to success. And that's going to be the end of it. We'll also talk about the questions and answers at the end. And you will also be able to ask us any questions in the offline mode as well. So first things first, for those of you who are new to RigER and haven't heard of us at all, or may have heard but have forgotten what we're all about. So our focus, we are out of Calgary. We're based in Calgary, Canada. So proudly in the central part of the Canadian oil and gas development industry. That's where we originate from, but we are expanding significantly in the throughout the North America rather. And our focus as a product and as a team and as a mission of a company is that to support and generate the paperless enterprise efforts. We do understand that everybody is different, so we also provide the custom solutions for all the companies that we're working with to one degree or another, surrounding the oil and gas and the services and the rental businesses specifically. And our mind is also open as well as our software. So we provide third-party integrations with as many solutions as are out there. We do recognize that everybody has to specialize in a specific niche. And in this day and age, software allows you to integrate with multiple platforms and other systems. And in that regard, RigER is an open platform that integrates with many different software solutions that our customers are using. Speaking of RigER, what it is, not only we are a platform, but we are a a bundle of different solutions. So based on the main platform that we call RigER Digital Oilfield Platform, that is supported by the cloud, specifically allowing to connect oilfield and office, understanding the challenges that all information has to be in one place, but people are dispersed. Cloud is the best solution in our mind in this day and age. We also have the mobile application that supports all core functions of the desktop application when you're using it. And by that, we connect both the field and the back office. The new mobile application that we're also are launching later this year is mobile purchases that would allow you seamlessly to enter your parts and components into the system. So a bundle and suite of the software that is supported by the mobile is also part of our ecosystem. But RigER is also a suite of, so based on the RigER platform, we have a suite of the solutions that support our sub-industries or the industry or support different industry applications, from rental equipment distribution to the downhole tools to the waste management and flowback and telecom to the rig movement, which is also a big part of the industry at the same time. So a suite of solutions is what RigER is. Our mobile oilfield development timeline is presented here. So again, as I mentioned, mobile is key. We understand and recognize, as we hear constantly from our customers, that mobile has to be present. We dedicate a significant effort to support that part of our line of the products and services. And currently, RigER mobile applications support the sales, support services, and rentals parts of the business. We also are launching later this year Oilfield Safety on mobile, and it's an extensive module that will allow you to create and maintain, as well as generate reports out of the safety documents. You can also customize them if you need to at the same time when we do the setup. We will be launching these Oilfield Purchases application, which again is a separate one from what we have already, but recognize that many customers require an ability to process information of a new purchase right there on the go. That application will allow you to do that. And we will also launch an oilfield inspections. Inspection is an important part of the oilfield services. And we have seen way too many inspectors in Midland and Midland and Odessa area just this past October when we were on at the Permian Basin Oil Show, where inspectors are struggling with the same challenges as everybody else: too much paper and no connectivity to the internet or a robust solution. So to address that challenge, our oilfield inspections application will be launched later this year, so stay tuned. Some of our key clients, again, for whom and from whom we hear and for whom we do and exist for. So this is the list of some of the main clients that we have been enjoying working with as of late, and some of the types of equipment that we have been helping to manage them in RigER. So those include from the surface equipment to the downhole, the rig mats and access mats and light towers and telecom equipment. So every company that you see here on this slide is different and is one of a kind, if you will. That's why we kind of put out there so that you see the diversity of the companies. But at the same time, they're all shared one thing. They're all successfully are using RigER for their oilfield services and rentals management. And on that note, I will pass the microphone to our CEO, Michael Maltsev, who will address the key topic to begin with, the common challenges of the oilfield rentals and services implementation projects.
Hello, everyone. Glad to see you here. And today we will talk about challenges, the implementation of the software, and best practices of and our approach for the implementing RigER. So if we talk about oilfield companies, oilfield service and rental companies, we see the significantly, the most of them significantly growing, and it raises a lot of questions how to run the business. Management needs more details. The processes become more complex. Then they growing. They start building the business in different locations, different areas. They need more information about efficiency of every single location. Then clients required more and more information about services and rental equipment. The next challenge could be field and office communication. So to better understand what's going on and how to manage this better. And client and vendor communications become a significant part, because nowadays people start communicate in more efficient, more fast way. So this kind of situation lead them to find the right solution for the business. And from another part, when you try to implement some changes in existing business, it's become a very, very significant issue, because from our experience and what we see from most of our clients, it's become a very challenging project, because it's a sometimes it's become a low priority, lack of time, and a standardized document flow. So you need to make an order before you start to implement the software. Lack of qualified personnel, and one more issue and most common issue. Then data unification. So understanding that the entire description of rental fleet should be like you need to use the same term to identify same unit. And of course, data migration become probably the most challenging part of most of our clients, because you need to collect all the data from different sources and put everything together to RigER. And different systems used in the past. Sometimes it could be a whiteboard, and sometimes it could be an Excel spreadsheet, sometimes it could be an accounting software. So you need to grab all those different systems and put them together. And this is what we do when we implement RigER. And of course, most of the important and relevant approach which we use, it's change management, and we understand that it's a huge project for our clients, and it could be a very important. However, to implement those changes, you need to first of all use the change management approach. So understand what's driving the change, then adopt the right mindset. Explain to the entire team why we do this and how we will do this and what we will receive at the end. So we need to set a clear goals and focus on those goals. And then in many cases, it could be like resistance. So you need to be ready and need to work with that resistance. And of course, the builder commitment and successful implementation. There is some 5 main components. So first of all, you need to assign the right team. Right team means that there should be dedicated personnel with authority to make changes in the organization, understand the desired outcomes of the project, and be able to make decisions of know who to contact to get things done. Second, you need to have an executive sponsor. So the management of the company should be involved, and the executive sponsor could be an operation manager, or it could be a financial manager, top could be CFO or chief operation officer, and those people could be involved in the project, and they need to control the project and how the project develops, and of course the milestones. So to control how the projects develop, so you need to have milestones and need to understand how the progress of the project moving forward. And definitely the key component here will be communication and engagement of the entire team. So yeah, this approach we use for our implementation program, and I'd like to pass the mic to Gleb Kobets, our VP of Operations. He will explain our approach to the implementation of the product.
Thank you very much, Michael. Hello, everyone. I'm glad to to see you here. And today I'm gonna show you how we do the implementation program and how we implement the software into your business and your business environment. And I'm going to describe you what are the main steps on this project and what kind of information will be required from your side as a new client in order to implement the software in a proper way. And also, I'm going to show you what kind of deliverables you'll receive from RigER side during the implementation process, and what kind of keys to successfully implement the software in your company in a fast and most efficient manner. So first, let's start with our general onboarding conditions, and your implementation project will take up to 60 days. So we set the standard period of time for the implementation as 2 months. And during this 2 months, you will receive along with the actions that we will take together with you in order to implement the software correctly, you'll receive weekly project progress reports, as well as the final implementation report and time report will be provided to you upon the completion of the implementation. During these 2 months, you will have unlimited access to all our employees who will be involved in your implementation. It includes software consultants, myself as a VP of operations, so I'm taking care of most of our new clients implementations. Also support, customer support department will be available for you as well. And any other employees, if you'll require their support, will be accessible as well. So our standard training schedule will include 2 standard trainings per week. But if your team is ready to go faster, we can adjust to your own pace and we can extend the number of trainings per week. So it's completely not a problem because our goal is to implement you as fast as possible and to make your system up and running as fast as possible as well. And also we are going to provide you with a premium support package after the implementation project if you will require that. So our general project roadmap looks like this. So in general, we have 4 stages which takes different period of time because of the scope of actions that we have to do during these stages will be also different. So we usually start with a stage 1, which is we call understand your business. Then we move up to set up the system, import the data, and then we will go to the user training stage, when all the users who will be working with the system directly will be trained and they'll be ready to work with the system. And then you start using the system in the live mode. So all new information comes directly to RigER. So our fast track approach and our fast track program takes 4 weeks, and it's designed for the customers who are completely ready for the fast implementation. I mean, in terms of readiness of the data that should be input in the system, and clear schedule, and a list of employees that should be involved, and also an understanding that you are able to dedicate as much resources as needed for the fast implementation. But standard timeline is, as I have already said, is 8 weeks. So let's go through each stage in details, and let's see what we will do during each stage. On the first stage, which is understand your business, we usually start with a kickoff meeting. On the kickoff meeting, we're just setting up the general timelines of the project, and we just specify at which week we will do what. So we will present the project program specifically for your implementation with all the deliverables and reports. And also we will present our implementation team. And from the client side, there will be required to assign key personnel for this project, which we call champions. So the champions idea is The idea behind the champions term is to assign the most proactive people who is capable to take all the responsibility and all the actions during the implementation project and lead this project. Then after the kickoff meeting, we are start studying your business. So we are sitting down with you and we'll starting to discuss what kind of operations do you have, how you do your business, what kind of documents are involved in each operation. We are going to also discuss internal processes like time tracking of your employees, maybe any safety procedures that you implemented in your business, any maintenance and repairs processes that you have with your equipment, or say any specific services that you provide to your clients also will be discussed to fully understand how you do your business. And all this information will allow us to better understand how we should configure your database, because RigER is a highly customizable and flexible system. So we have more than 100 features that can be configured both together in order to replicate your real life operations in the most efficient way in the electronic system. And also we are gonna examine your real life documents, like everything that you have on hand as a paperwork, and maybe print forms of the documents that you provide to your customers will also be examined, because again, we're ready to customize those in order to meet your requirements to the documents. All this information, as I said, will lead to the possible scope of work for customization of the software. And we have a specific process of software customization, which has several steps. So as I already said, we just study your business requirements. Then we build the scope of work internally together with our development team. We assess what kind of changes should be done in the system in order to meet your requirement, and how many time will it take to implement those changes. Then there will be a few steps on the development side of coding the software, internal testing, quality control. We will run some tests that will give us an opportunity to see if everything is changed properly. And then together with you, we will sit down and see if everything works in the way that you requested that. If needed, we'll do some adjustments, and final deployment will be done to your system. So the system will be customized upon your requirements. So next stage, in stage 2, is actually set up the system. That's maybe one of the time-consuming stage, because at this particular stage, we have to enter a lot of data in the system and configure the system in terms of features, visibility settings, and everything. And then after we do this, we will be ready to do the training with the users. But first, we do the data import, and I will explain a little bit more in details this step later on. But after we import the data, we do the configuration call with the champions of the company. So with those people who better understand what are the processes of the company, we start doing the first test runs and mock-up jobs, and to see how your real operations are integrated in the program. So additional features and visibility settings can be adjusted at this stage as well, in order to bring your system to the final version before we start training end users. And if the integration with accounting system has been requested, so we will do also this step during the stage 2, because before you start working with the system live, we should be comfortable with and you should be comfortable with the exporting the data from RigER to accounting systems. So in terms of integration with accounting system, we have ability to integrate RigER with QuickBooks, both desktop and online versions. Also, Sage is available as well. And we do have an integration with e-invoicing, electronic invoicing systems like Oildex and Cortex through the third-party provider, which is IndraMyInvoice. So you can easily, with a click of one button, send your invoices from RigER directly to these electronic invoicing systems. So on the data import stage, we provide you with the data import templates in Excel spreadsheets. So your task will be to fill in these spreadsheets and send back to us for the initial data verification and checking the format of the data. So once it's checked, we will provide our feedback, and you'll be ready to fill in the rest of the information that you have on hand in these spreadsheets. And then when we will receive all these spreadsheets, we will import it in the database. We will do the final verifications and checks of the data uploaded, and we will issue the data import template, data import report about the job that has been done. So on that note, let me pass the mic to Arsen, who will provide you another information and more details about our training stage.
Thank you, Gleb. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to discuss with you the training program of our software implementation system, and I would like to present you what it does and how we train our personnel. So first of all, as I'm sure you would have already guessed, the training process is basically essential for the success of your team, and it is essential to make them to get them up and running in a short amount of time. Our training program is basically divided into two types. So we provide on-site training and online training. They differ in their approaches, and the content also differs in their approaches. So let me tell you a little bit about the on-site training. On-site, you can think of it as a in-depth crash course. And so our team comes to the site, you gather your personnel, we do a 2-day training, and we do it, let's say, in a group. We discuss all the aspects, and we provide in-depth information about the system itself. We answer questions, we do practical jobs, and we do some of your real jobs input in the system. The online training, on the other hand, is a little bit of slower approach. It will give you time to think, give you time to do some practice in the database, and it would also provide you with the ability to have more practice, in the system. The main goal of our training program is to have our users reach the comfortable level of operation. So as you most probably know, every single database management system is not a joke to operate, and you will need basically at least some practice to be successful in it. We divide our tasks into smaller ones, and we do them by piece, so we can assure that our trainees have a practical level of knowledge and are getting more proficient each time we do a training with them. Now, our training program is highly dependent on the client requirements, and it is defined by the test runs that we do during the second stage of the implementation project, and defined by the configuration card, meaning that what kind of modules has the client requested and what kind of operations he does. Our in-depth courses are differently related to our modules, and we can provide in-depth courses like in rental modules, in sales modules, accounting modules, etc. The primary focus, as you can understand, is to help our users gain the practical experience with the software and feel comfortable with it and be able to do everything on their own without any kind of help in the future. So as a result of our trainings, it's obvious, but I'm gonna reiterate it, we will have trained end users. Some of them will be the champions, as Gleb has already mentioned. Those will be the, the RigER kings in their domain, in their companies, and they will own every kind of access to the system and will be able to provide any kind of help to the other end users who will need them. And on the other hand, we will have our regular users who will be instructed and trained in strictly their scope of operation. Some of them will be trained as field technicians. The other ones would be trained for the dispatching modules, the other ones for the accounting, etc. And by the end of the training, we will generate a report which will consist of several sections and will provide you information about the topics that we've covered during our training sessions, the time that we have spent on our trainings, and who the attendees were, and some other relevant information on the trainings.
Thank you, Arsen, and thank you, Gleb. I don't see any questions, but I have a question of my own. So in the end, we said that we have two types of users, the champions and the regular ones. So how does a company select one, which one should be which, and what are the best, I guess, qualities of a champion that a company, before they're launching into the implementation of a project, how do they assign somebody based on what criteria, I guess, one should be qualified as a champion?
Thank you, Nikolai, for this question. And that's one of the most important steps in the implementation project, because depending on the selection of this person by the management team or by leaders of the company, it's one of the keys to success, of success to do the implementation properly, because depending on the skills and proficiency and qualifications of this people, the implementation project will define actually the timelines and the general success. Because if those persons are capable of keep tracking of the change management in the system or in the company, and providing the internal support to the end users in terms of studying new things about the software, and just providing them a little bit more information about the goal, why everything is going to be doing in the system. So that will lead the implementation project and the company itself to the successful implementation of the software.
I agree with Gleb, and my vision here could be that the champion needs the person who assigned as a champion in a company should have enough authority and knowledge of the company business. So to change something or explain why we do things in a different way, or why we are required to do it in a different way, because in some cases it could be very, very tough to understand why it's so important, or why the process should be done in a particular case, in a particular way. And I believe that authority and knowledge of the company processes, and another maybe an experience with implementing of our other systems.
Yes, let me continue with our implementation project. And one of the most requested and asked questions, and frequently asked questions from our new customers who are just entering the implementation process, what to expect. And that's actually two sides of the coins, because there are some things that we are expecting from the customer during the implementation project, and also the customer expects from our implementation team as well. So here you can see the information split by different stages that will be in our implementation journey. And on the first stage, when we are just starting your business and assessing your business processes, we will require the general information about your company. So and general timeline estimation for the implementation project. So this will be set up as of kickoff meeting end. And once it's confirmed from the client side, we are ready to provide the project program specifically adjusted to the current implementation. Then we will also require the whole package of the documents that you have on hand currently. And also some of our previous experiences shows us that some of the companies, they have standard and formal written operational descriptions, like business process descriptions. But again, in smaller companies where the processes are more informal, we are ready to get your verbal explanations of how you do your business. And based on that, if any customization needs will just arise, we'll build a scope of work and present to you before we do the training. Also, on the second step, we will provide all the spreadsheets that should be filled in order to import the data in the system. And during the whole implementation project, we will provide you with reports, checklists, and time reports as well. So you will be keep tracking of the actions that are happening, and you will always know what the next step in our implementation project and what has already been done by your company and your team, because it's also essential to understand what kind of steps we have already accomplished, because that leads to the major goal. And these small baby steps just builds the confidence that everything goes right, and we'll meet the final goal. When the implementation is done and we are ready to let you go live with the system, we will do the final implementation report with a summary of the actions that we have performed, the final time report, and also we will transfer you to our customer support department with all the information that will help you work with the system after the implementation, like knowledge base articles, some user guides and kits, how to do some particular actions in the system, and all the resources that are available for your disposal. So let me pass microphone to Michael, who will show you some best cases and practices based on our experience.
Yeah, this year we will turn 7 years of doing business and implementing software, and we can have some best practices and share with you some of our experience. So the fastest implementation of RigER, which I saw, was 2 weeks, and it was a very interesting project when we move one company from Microsoft Dynamics to RigER Plus QuickBooks. And the key component here was quality of data, I would put it that way. So because the company knows how the things should work and how they should be presented, so it was a very, very smooth and very, very fast implementation. So they literally switched from one system to another system within 1 month, and was really happy. The easiest implementation and what influenced what a key factor for from our perspective for the easiest implementation is the existing having the company have experience of the implementation, and they already know how to implement a software or any other significant changes in the company in the past. So the team knows how to work together with that kind of changing environment. So the implementation experience is very, very important. The dedicated team is important as well. So people can, sit down and agree, because one of the challenge which we didn't mention, that RigER combined the entire organization together. So sales, accounting, operations, maintenance, everything in one system. And in some organizations, it's become an issue because they have to use the one source of truth, and they have to understand the requirements of each other. So they need to talk to each other, and they need to communicate and agreed how they even name the item. Scope of work and the quality of the scope of work and agreement how the thing should work is very important as a prototype. When we do the customization, we build, in some cases, we build a prototype and ask users try and receive. We of course ask for the feedback and see if it meet the requirements and it works exactly how they expect that. And for some clients with big customization projects, we do a sandbox databases. So we copy the existing database and provide them access to the sandbox so they can play with the data without, destroy the live database and without distracting other users. So we implement a new approach to the sandbox databases, and then they see if this exactly what they're looking for. Then we update a new database, live database. So, and from my perspective, I would say that one of the important thing for the projects is to be prepared. So the quality of data, the good recommendation for this could be, say, for example, if we talk about equipment, the rental fleet list. So a good thing will be do the inventory counting to understand what exactly we have and where they are. So the general recommendation for the implementation of any kind of software is just to do the small wings. So it means that the not just waiting for the big projects, but just to just to cut everything on small pieces and do the small portions. So when we talk about training and understanding how to use the software, we usually ask the users that, okay, just to start from the small thing. Then we will add the complexity. We will add one more. So, and this approach helps us to show that, okay, right now you know how to enter the delivery ticket. Then you know how to enter a rental service agreement. Then you know how to enter the invoice. And in this case, like 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions, you understand how to run the entire rental job. Another approach which we usually do, we implement Office first, and Field second. So initially, in the first step of what we do, we implement everything in the Office, in the cloud, and then we come to the second stage when we have a field personnel, mobile applications, implementations, because we 100% sure that Office works as it should. And then everything goes to the mobile, not confusing people, not distract them, so they can do everything smoother. Another approach, say, for example, if we switch from paper tickets to the digital tickets, could be semi-digital, we call this way. It could be the PDF tickets, which they can print or fill out in a mobile phone. So the implementation, especially in the field, it could be 2 to 3 months. When people become comfortable, then you switch to another stage. Then you switch to another stage and another stage. So, and the same approach with integration. For example, core process in RigER is a rental or oilfield services. So, and to build the integration with other systems, you need to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 cycles before to understand that you cover 100% of the core process, and then you're ready to do the integration. Because if you miss something and you build the integration report, you have to back to core process, change something, and then do the integration again, which is not really rational. And of course, to make this more productive, we usually split big projects on the second stages, several stages, sorry, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our main recommendations for the implementation. So one step at a time, be sure that everything works fine, and then move to the next step.
Thank you, Michael. And let me just continue on our presentation. We're coming to the end, but just a few words more about the keys to success in the implementation projects for every single client, regardless of the size of the company. But those keys will lead you definitely to the your final goal. So as we already said, the leadership of the company and the leaders of the company, we should build the trust and confidence within the organization during the implementation project, and tell the people that why the purpose of these changes, what is the purpose of these changes, why we do these actions. And also one of the most important things that should be implemented in the implementation project by the company is time constraints, because when you set the strict deadlines for the project, you will be able to clearly see how you accomplish these small steps and what is the progress of the whole project. And in this way, you will have the clear goal when you have to accomplish this. As we already said, the champions are important part of the implementation project. So those are the people who are proactively oversee the project, manage the changes in the company, and just support internal users, internal company, internal team with these changes. And again, as Michael has already said, take actions. Small steps lead to big achievements. So once you take small steps and achieve these goals, you are just checking the checklist, small check marks in the checklist, and you accomplish this. What's after implementation? So when your system is set up and running, you will be transferred to our customer support desk and support department, and you'll have the full access to self-learning online channels, which is YouTube channel with webinars and how-to videos, our knowledge base with articles and clear step-by-step instructions of how to do anything in the system, or obviously the support desk with the ability to submit your tickets and questions. And our support desk satisfaction level is quite high. So out of 5, the latest statistics shows that we have 4.6. So our current customers are pretty happy with the support that they receive. Also, we can provide the premium support package for an additional fee, which includes up to 10 additional training hours during next 2 months. So if you require a little bit more training, or you just onboard your new employees to RigER, so we will be ready to provide additional training for you upon request. Also, you'll have a higher priority for support desk tickets that you submit, and you also receive up to 4 hours of our implementation team consultations. So either it can be a software consultant or myself or Michael, so we can provide any consulting services for your business if you will again require this. Okay, on that note, let us wrap up this webinar. And today we have learned the common challenges of the software implementation in any business, regardless of the size of the company. Also, we have showed you what is the implementation program for getting RigER live in your business, and best cases and practices based on our previous experience with dozens of different companies. And we've just covered the keys to successful implementation of the software. So if you don't have any other questions, let us just remind you that we can talk to you anytime through our communication channels, as like phone calls. We have a toll-free phone number. You can also submit your questions about using the program to our email, which is support@rigger.ca. And you also are very welcome to our website, which will provide you again the essential information about our software and our company in general.
Thank you, Gleb. I don't see any questions right now. Just a quick one, just for you. So one of the main challenges you mentioned is that to get the data, and Michael mentioned that, to get the data ready, the data import, preparation of the data before migration. So what are the key two elements that people need to take away to start working on that if they want to implement the project? What do they need to do? How do they clean up the data? What are the key two things that they need to start doing?
Yeah, based on my personal experience with data import of dozens of clients, I would say that one of the most important is just to distinct the difference between rental equipment that you provide to your clients and you charge for the rental fees for that equipment, and services that you provide. In some cases, companies just a little bit mess up with this because, for example, the equipment can be provided as part of the services that the company charge for. And in this case, we're just able to track the equipment, but we don't charge for it. And we charge only for service. So that's one of the main challenge, to just separate rental equipment from services. And one of the most efficient way how to do that is just to take a look at the invoice that you provide your client with. So on your invoice, we will clearly see what is chargeable, what is not, what is traceable, what is not. And that will allow us to distinguish this. Also, one of the most important thing is just to have particular serial numbers or unit numbers for the equipment. Again, the RigER system is able to track unserialized equipment, but in order to have clear picture and clear vision of where our equipment is and where it has been delivered for, say, last 3 months, what is the maintenance history and inspection history on that equipment. So we do recommend to have unit numbers for the equipment.
Okay. Well, good. On that note, I think if anything,
I would like to add to mine.
Okay.
So I totally agree with Gleb's. Only my addition would be that you need to have a full list. So be sure that you have a full list of items you'd like to add, a full list of services, full list of your contacts, and the second would be unification of the data. So you need to understand what kind of standard or what kind of rule you will use to name your items. Say, for example, you have a light tower, and you can put a light tower in the name, which will affect the search in the future in the database. So you can put a light tower like 30K, or you can put 30K light tower. It will be a little bit different search in RigER. So, but you need to understand how things will be sorted. For example, all the 30Ks will be put first, and then will be like 30K generator, 30K light tower. Or it could be light tower 30K, light tower 60K, generator 30K, generator 60K. So this kind of small things, but you need to set rules how things will work in RigER. And another thing, of course, to make the implementation a little bit smoother, we recommend to our clients to not change a lot. So use the system which already you have in the business, because it will help your personnel to adjust to those changes.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Gleb and Michael. I think the key, then, if just to wrap it all up real quickly, is just that we need to make sure that the data is organized and you have the rules that are set up for yourself. But since we are here to help, and when you decide to go on with the implementation of the project, our implementation team here on site will be able to help you to resolve some of the challenges that you may face at the initial stage. And as Michael said, that some implementations run fast, some are a little longer. In any case, well, we're here to help to get there when you want to be in the final destination of having the optimally organized your oilfield operations or services using our system that works. for the small and medium-sized businesses. So we're looking forward to working with you. Let us know if you have any questions in the offline mode. Call us, email us, follow us. We're here to help anytime and anywhere pretty much these days. So thank you very much. And on that note, we're going to wrap up, and we'll see you next week or the week after the next one for the next webinar. You will all receive the email notification as well. But thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Bye.